Hello. Let's solve this function that involves us evaluating a function and then finding its second derivative. First, we are given the function f of x, which is equal to cosine of x squared minus 4. Let's solve a. A asks us to find f of 2. So let's plug 2 into that function. So it's f of 2 is equal to cosine of x squared, so it's going to be 2 squared minus 4. And then 2 squared is obviously 4, so 4 minus 4 will be 0, so this gives us cosine of 0. And this has us evaluating our unit circle, but at this point, 1, 1, we'll see that when theta is equal to 0, there's no angle. The theta is so small that you can't really have a line for it, so it'd kind of be like this. That our cosine, which is our x component, is 1. So we can say that cosine, or f of 2, is equal to 1. Now let's find the second derivative. To find the second derivative, we will first have to find the first derivative. So let's do that. This is a simple chain rule problem, and then the rule for this idea is that if f of x is equal to cosine of u, so the idea, let's make this a little bit more correct. The derivative of cosine of u is equal to negative sine, because the derivative of cosine is sine, so it's negative sine to the u times u prime, which is the inside. So we can find that in this case, the u is equal to x squared minus 4. So this leads us to u prime being 2x. So therefore, f prime of x is equal to u prime, so 2 of x times negative sine of x squared minus 4, which you can write as negative 2x sine of x squared minus 4. Okay. And then next off, we can find f double prime, the second derivative, and this is a product rule. So first we'll have to take the derivative of this part times the normal function of this plus the derivative of this part times the regular part of that. So let's write that down. So the derivative of negative 2x is equal to negative 2. And then it's just times the multiplied by the original function, like we said. And then this is plus the derivative of sine of x squared minus 4 times negative 2x. And then the derivative, if g of x is equal to sine of x squared minus 4, we can find that g prime of x is equal to 2x times cosine of x squared minus 4. So this will leave us with the fact that f double prime of x is this first part like we originally said, plus the derivative of this part, which is 2x cosine of x squared minus 4 times negative 2x, which is this original part. And then this will simplify to negative 2 sine of x squared. This part really doesn't need simplifying, but it's this last part. So first of all, we have this negative right here. So this will change this to a minus. And then we have 2x times 2x. So that will give us 4x squared times cosine of x squared minus 4, which really can't be simplified any further. So this gives us that the second derivative is this right here. And then so that's the answer to B. And then the answer to A is this right here. Thanks for watching.